Dear students, welcome back once again for the seventh session of Human Resource Management. Here in this session, we are going to discuss evolution of human resource management, that how uh, in the inception that it is emerged as a uh, subject or as a paper or as a branch uh, under economics, not only under economics, because human resource management paper has been studied by many social disciplines, particularly commerce, fraternity, and then what you call in non-governmental organization and then governmental organization. People are going to study this paper elaborately. But once we are going to talk about this paper, yes, it is for Bachelor of Arts students in other universities, not only in Coimbatore University, but in other university, this paper are going to be studied under commerce discipline as well. But let me discuss about the evolution of human resource management in this seventh session of my presentation. Here in this presentation, I took only two slides, but nonetheless that I want to elaborate in my own words with having a huge content by many references. That is what I did in my PPT. Let me discuss, or let me say the few words regarding to the evolution of human resource management. Dear student, as we know that the history of development of human resource management in India is comparatively of recent origin. When we are going to check it out, the origin of human resource management, comparing with other social discipline, yes, there is a little bit of confusion may arise in the mindset of student fraternity. As far as the we people are concerned, yes, I do agree that is this paper is newly brought into focus under economics stream. But here, when we are going to, in the next session, I am going to discuss the developments of human resource management. But this is what, in this session, that let me discuss about only evolution, okay? How this evolved when the human resource management in India, in particular, I didn't went through the international comparison, but I do took international comparison while the development of human resource management is concerned. Particularly in India, when we are going to discuss about the history of human resource management, Kautilya had felt with some of important aspect in human resource management in Arthashastra. As I said earlier in my previous session, particularly when we are discussing about nature and scope of human resource management, I told you people that yes, there is a close contact with or close interlink with, or there is a close relationship with economics, particularly by human resource management, that we saw in our studies. When Kautilya wrote Arthashastra, he mentioned the several aspects about human resource management in his book, where he written during 400 BC. Oh my God, it's a see the aspect, the validity of human resource management that is put forwarded to the new generation, that what actually we are in. Kautilya wrote Arthashastra during 400 BC. During those days to the current days, when you are going to question the validity of human resource management, it is acceptable one, not to reject one, it is acceptable because nowadays when we are going to discuss the evolution, it could be superb one. Yes, we pridely we say, yes, it is Kautilya that he framed well-equipped concept with using of many methods, components, and then many techniques. Government in those days adopted the techniques of human resource management as suggested by Kautilya. See, that is what I am telling, that Kautilya's Arthashastra is valid in current days also. Nonetheless, or you may say nevertheless, if we are not considering the issues that what actually framed by Kautilya, it is not like that, because the Kautilya is the one person, we may call it as Chanakya, is a one person where he is advisor and then is a guide to one of the big hero who is the what do you call Raja of what do you call Maurya dynasty. His name is Chandragupta Maurya. Not only Chandragupta Maurya, his son Samudragupta Maurya also took many issues mentioned by Kautilya in his Arthashastra. And then both Chandragupta Maurya and then Samudragupta Maurya are followed what actually Kautilya said in his Arthashastra. In its modern sense, it has developed only since independence, though the importance of labor officers was recognized as early as 1929. We know that in India, 1947, we got independence. Later that in 1951, we framed one state machinery and then central machinery like planning commission. Before that in 1929, there is a no question of machineries, particularly the central and then state machineries are not appeared. But instead of that having machineries, labor officers was recognized, particularly in 1929. This is what I want to tell you people, that it is before independence all these things has happened, and then after First World War and then Second World War, this evolution was started. Particularly we will consider who is not recognized as a human manager, but is recognized as a labor officer. The appointment of officers to solve labor and welfare problem gained momentum only after the enactment of Factory Act of 1948. This is after independence. In 1947 we got independence. In 1948 when the British government introduced the Factories Act, particularly to see the problems and the disputes of the laborers, and also see the welfare of the laborer, consider very much seriously to tackle the issues and then settle it and then balance it in the way that where the effectiveness of organization should be considered. Section 49 of the Act required the appointment of welfare officer in companies employing more than 500 workers. So this is one aspect that we must consider in 1948 Factories Act introduced by the British government, that particularly in section 49 it is appointed one of the finest word using by those days, that is welfare officers, particularly in the companies employing more than 500 workers, not only to the companies, because we people know that On those days, companies, organization, and then government setup, public sector setup, private sector setup are not in a proper channel, but 500 workers appointed only for the purpose of to have a little bit of work in agricultural field and then developmental field. So for that appointment of 500 workers, in the section 49, it is mentioned that that appointment should be considered as a welfare officer. At the beginning, government was concerned only with limited aspects of labor welfare. The earliest labor legislation in India dealt with certain aspects of Indian laborers, that is what we are calling regulation of recruitment, forwarding and employment, that is after introducing of 5-year plan, and which is also sent by the various British colonies during 1830s, because in 1830s we know that in 1857 there is a Sipahi Dange has happened, but during those days a little bit of Britishers are occupied many colonies and then regulating those colonies by fetching of many regulations and then notification to the industrial people, not only industrial people but also to the laborers. Important phases of evolution of human resource management are presented in during exhibit of what you call particularly in the labor welfare. In my second slide, I quoted already, that is in 1830s there is a British colonies are expanded all over India. We know that Goa was ruled under Portugal, and then in Pondicherry, French are ruled those colonies. But all these types of colonies are regulated and then ruled by Britishers. Those in during 1830, the evolution of human resource management, a little bit of shivering and then a little bit of what I say, that shaking its own stand itself in the way in which that the development of human resources concerned. With this, I will stop here, because evolution of human resource management nowhere, because it is a new subject, new paper in economics. I don't think so that is the evolution of HRM is much more there, but developments of human resource management is far achieved in the area of human resource management. With this, I am stopping this session of evolution of HRM, particularly in the 7th session. So again, for this evolution of human resource management, I followed and then I thoroughly followed all these references. I request dear students, please follow all these references where I quoted in the last slide in my session. Dear students, thank you once again. Bye for now.